Good afternoon, and sorry to keep you waiting. We have just finished discussing the situation in Tigray, and I'd like to start by thanking Mark Lowcock of OCHA and David Beasley of the World Food Programme for their briefings. I should say that the UK is confident in the reliability of the data that has been presented by the UN. It's clear that food, agricultural tools, and livestock are being destroyed. And as a result, 350,000 people in Tigray are facing hunger on a scale not seen since the famine in Somalia. And many more, millions more, face food insecurity exacerbated by disrupted planting. The UK today has announced a further £16.7 million in aid for Ethiopia, which brings to a total of £47.7 million since the conflict began 8 months ago. We called today for Council members to come together and to urge with one voice for an immediate ceasefire and access for humanitarian aid. As I said earlier today, without a ceasefire, this could become a man-made famine. It's not a drought or locusts that are causing this hunger, but the decisions of those in power. That means those in power could also end the suffering. We were told in March that Eritrean forces would be withdrawing. It's now June. There can be no further delay. Farmers have been unable to plant next year's crops due to the violence. The window for them to do so is about to close. And while the violence continues, it is not only condemning the people of Tigray to desperate hunger this year, but next year too. Millions of people's lives hang in the balance. The solution is clear: a ceasefire, humanitarian access, and political dialogue. Thank you.
Madam Ambassador, you just made an appeal for a ceasefire following an informal meeting of the Security Council. Can you tell us what exactly is preventing the Security Council from holding a formal meeting and issuing a similar statement?
Well, I think we've made the UK's position on this very clear. We are disappointed, to be honest, that discussing this crisis continues in an informal setting and that members have not been able to agree a further discussion in public. We would welcome a discussion that would look at support of African-led solutions and working with regional initiatives to bring this crisis to an end. On the specifics, you'd have to ask my colleagues about their individual positions. But we've had 5 informal dialogues now, as you know. Thank you.
Did the Ethiopian ambassador, could you give us any indication of what he expressed to the council and if there's any change in their position or any resistance, or why the resistance moving forward? Could you tell us more about that?
Yes, so the Ethiopian ambassador joined us, and also the crisis commissioner, Commissioner Mitiku from Addis Ababa, both joined us and gave some facts and data about their view of the situation. I think you'd probably have to ask the Ethiopian ambassador for the details of his perspective, though.
He didn't say anything that changed your mind, though.
He didn't say anything that changed our mind that this is an impending crisis. We're deeply concerned about the famine situation, the violence, and the long-term implications for Ethiopia. You know, Ethiopia recovered from a terrible famine in 1984, and the relative stability that it achieved since then, it would be a tragedy, I think, for that to dissipate without resolving this political crisis. Thank you very much.
Thank you.